from the Cedar Rapids Gazette and the new Iowa Football Reporter. I just wanted to know if you can remember back to when you were an undrafted free agent and now reflecting on how far you've come. What do you think got you here, playing in your second Super Bowl?
Yeah, I'm definitely, blessed to be in this position. Going all the way back then, it was kind of just a one day at a time mindset, doing anything I could to make the roster. And, now we're here in the second Super Bowl. So it's been a fun journey. But really it was, just kind of sticking to the process, trying to be detail oriented and, just taking stuff one day at a time.
Okay, we're just waiting for another question to come in if you just want to sit tight.
Okay.
And we'll go back to Leah with another question.
Sorry, I just wanted to follow up. I noticed on your Twitter you had a picture with a kid named Reed, I think at the hospital. If you could maybe speak to, your relationship with him. I believe he's a little kid going through cancer treatment.
Yeah. So unfortunately, Reed actually just passed away a couple months ago. But he was a kid that my teammate and roommate back at Iowa, Jake Gervais, had gone and seen a couple times over at the Children's Hospital. As you know, that's a great just relationship between the Children's Hospital and the athletic department over there at Iowa. And it's awesome how many players and, athletes from all sports can get over there and, try to do anything they can to, form relationships and brighten kids' days and things like that. But, yeah, I got to know Reed over my years at Iowa. Great kid, awesome family. And through his cancer and chemo, he was always, smiling and always, had a great attitude. You wouldn't have known anything, was even wrong with him half the time. So definitely was an inspiration to me.
Okay, and next question we'll take from John Ackerman. John, you can go ahead and unmute.
Hey, Ben. I've seen you mention your faith in God on social media. I know that your faith is important to you. Can you explain, what that faith means to you, how you rely on it throughout the season?
Yeah, that's definitely a big part of my life. As an athlete, you're hearing things from so many different areas, whether it be, friends, family, fans. And that's just been big for me, staying grounded, in my faith and knowing that I'm not defined by what happens on the football field. And, I could have a great game or a bad game and, God's still going to love me the same either way. So that's definitely something I rely on and has been big for me.
Okay, and next question we'll take from Tom Atkins. Tom, you can go ahead and unmute.
Ben, in order to succeed on Sunday, you're going to have to put a lot of pressure on Tom Brady and those guys. How is your defensive unit going to rise to that challenge?
Yeah, we're just working every day throughout the week, putting in the preparation. And, like you said, we definitely are going to have to pressure Brady, get him moved off the spot a little bit. And Coach Spags, I'm sure, we'll have blitzes, whatever, dialed up to, try to do that. But we just have to go out and execute and I'll do our job.
Okay, if anyone else in here has any questions, go ahead, use that raise hand function, and we'll get your questions to Ben. Okay, we'll take our next question from Shelby Allen. Shelby, you can go ahead and unmute.
Good afternoon, Ben. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Doing good. I came in late. I heard you talking about your faith with another reporter. I was on with Vita Vea this morning, and he also talked about his faith. How important is it, or at least unique is it, to just have teammates that also believe on the team with you?
Yeah, that's definitely a big part of it. Community is, and we have a good group here in Kansas City. Sundays we have chapel led by Marcellus Casey here, and he does a great job. He's always shooting us encouraging, messages and texts throughout the week, as well as videos. So I think community's big, and we're fortunate to have a good setup here.
We're just waiting for our next question. If anyone has any more questions for Ben. And we'll take another question from Leah. Leah, you can go ahead and unmute.
Sorry, I'm trying not to monopolize time here, but I know that your brother Nick recently graduated and is hoping to make the NFL. I was just wondering if you have any advice for him.
Yeah, it's kind of just been a deal where he's shooting me questions throughout the process, and we're fortunate enough that I've gone through it before. So anything I can do, to help him, I'm definitely doing that. He's on his own path, his own journey. It'll be different than mine, but I'm excited for him, and here to help in any way possible for sure.
We're just waiting for another question to come in. If anyone else has any questions for Ben, feel free to use that raise hand function. And we'll take another question from Shelby. Shelby, you can go ahead and unmute.
Hello again. I know y'all played them earlier this season, so maybe you already know the answer to this, but who would you say is the hardest offensive player on the Bucs to tackle?
That's tough to say. They have a lot of great weapons offensively. At the receiver position, both of their running backs are really tough tackles and physical runners. Spin on contact, do all that, so they're tough. And then obviously, you got Gronk, and it is a big physical presence as well. So it's kind of hard to put it on one, but I'd say, all their offensive skill guys are tough tackles. So.
And we'll go to John next. John, you can go ahead and unmute.
Hey, Ben, another question about your faith. I'm just curious, how did that kind of begin or take shape for you?
Yeah, I think that was kind of something that started when I was young. I'm fortunate, to have grown up with, two parents that are believers, and just from a young age going to church, going to youth groups, church camps, all that, and kind of got plugged in, with good people, at all the churches that my family went to. So just started from a young age, and was fortunate to have good people around me. So.
And we're waiting for another question to come in. If anyone else has any further questions for Ben here. And another question just came in. We'll go to SK Patrick. You can go ahead and unmute.
Hey, congratulations on being on another Super Bowl trip. I was just inquiring, compared to last year, does your game preparation or mindset differ in any way coming into your second Super Bowl after having the experience of last year?
Yeah, I think it definitely is beneficial that, we've been here before and been through, this 2-week block we have. And, even going up to game day, the long commercial breaks, the long time you're out on the field before the anthem and up until the coin toss. Going through those type of things I think is definitely beneficial. In terms of preparation, last year to this year, two totally different offenses and schemes. But I think it's just good that we have so many guys back off of our defense from last year. Just kind of having experienced it, it can't hurt you. So.
Okay, next question will go to Carrie Burns. Carrie, you can go ahead and unmute.
Hi, so Carrie with the AAU here. So I was just wondering, you used to play AAU way back in the day, so we're going back a couple of years. So is there anything that you remember from playing baseball that you feel like you could use, in your career today?
That's tough to say. Different sports. I definitely loved, all the AAU and travel stuff. I played basketball and baseball. Enjoyed both. I don't know, just the, I guess, competitive aspect of it, having fun with your teammates, creating, great relationships. And, there's kids that I played travel sports with when I was young that I'm still friends with today. So those would just be the big takeaways.
Okay, we're just waiting for another question to come in. If anyone else has another question for Ben, feel free to go ahead and use that raise hand function. And we'll go back to Carrie with another question. Carrie, you can go ahead and unmute.
Sorry, one more. So if there is just any advice that you have to those kids who are, playing youth sports today, like how can they get to where the point you are?
Yeah, I would just say have fun with it, compete in everything you're doing. Lean on the, expertise of your coaches and, the people that care about you and, just work hard. So those are the big things.
Okay, if any other media, we got another question from Shelby. Shelby, you can go ahead and unmute.
Hey, do you remember the exact moment or day, even during college or high school, where you realized your potential and you realized that you really could make it to this level?
I think that would probably have been back in college. I wasn't really a highly recruited kid coming out of high school. I was, just a two-star kid, and my only Power 5 offer was Iowa. So, at that point, I was just trying to prove that I belonged at the Division I level. It was always my dream to be in this spot since I was a little kid. But, just getting older at Iowa was kind of just a one day at a time approach. And, whenever I got the opportunity, I took it and ran with it. I'm an undrafted free agent. So, it's not like I was super high up on a lot of these draft boards. So it was kind of just taking the approach that I need to prove myself every day.
Okay, we're just waiting for another question to come in. If anyone has any more questions for Ben, feel free to use that raise hand function. Okay, another question just came in. Leah, you can go ahead and unmute.
Yeah, so second Super Bowl now, and I'm just wondering, do the nerves get, is it a little bit easier to deal with, or is it just the same?
The nerves will definitely come, that and excitement both. Right now it's kind of different. Last year at this time, we were down in Miami and, we're there the whole week leading up to the game. Now it's kind of just routine as normal back at the complex here in Kansas City, and can kind of, take the same game week approach, which I think has probably helped smooth things out a little bit. But, once we get close to kickoff, the excitement and the juices will definitely be flowing.
Okay, for any media just jumping in here, if you have any questions for Ben, feel free to use that raise hand function. Looks like we have a question from Joshua Allen. Joshua, you can go ahead and unmute.
Hey Ben, how are we doing today?
Good. How are you?
Good. Just watching the tape, how impressed have you been with rookie tackle Tristan Wirfs and the problems that he presents going up against him?
Yeah, he's a great player. I actually played with him at Iowa, so I know him really well. Very physically talented kid. Was a fun guy to be in the locker room with back at Iowa, and he's doing a great job for them, and has protected Brady really well this year.
And we're just waiting for our next question. If anyone else has any further questions for Ben before we start to wrap this up. And we'll go to Shelby with another question. Shelby, you can go ahead and unmute.
Last Super Bowl, down 10 in the fourth quarter, all that pressure got put on the defense. With how good Tom Brady has been in the fourth quarter, how do you keep it from coming down to that again this season?
Yeah, that's going to be a big challenge. It just starts from the first snap, I think, and just limited big plays, stopping their run game to start, and just winning on third down, winning the situational football, and just keep trying to get 3 and outs, get stops, and give the ball back to our offense. So we're not in that 10-point hole like we were last year.
And we're just waiting for any more questions to come in. If anyone has one final question for Ben before we let him go today. Any media jumping in here, if we have any last questions for Ben today, feel free to use that raise hand function. All right, seeing that there are no further questions, we'll go ahead and wrap this up. Ben, thank you for your time, and you are free to go.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.